Let's make a loading splash screen for our Tauri desktop application. Let's open up Visual Studio Code, head to source-Tauri, and then head to our tauri.config.json. Once we're in here, we'll add a label to our first main window and name it to main, turn visible to false, and center it. After that, we'll make another object. This will be our splash screen window. Label it splash screen. You can make it any width or height. I try to make it smaller than the main window. We'll have our URL point to the front end splash screen, center it, and then decorations false. Now add in with global Tauri and we'll make that true. This is so on the front end we can invoke our Tauri commands. Now let's head to our backend source folder, lib.rs. We're going to use Tauri app handle and manager. This will allow us to get the current application and also manage it. We're going to make a function named Splashscreen. This function is a Tauri command that will invoke on our front end after a set time. It will basically close the splash screen window and makes our main window that we turned visible false in our config to now show. And then we will put the splash screen command into the invoke handler, so then we can invoke it on the front end. Now let's head over to our front end, the source folder, and let's create a splashscreen.html, and let's create a splashscreen.css so we can edit our loading screen. Inside of our HTML, we'll just make basic boilerplating code, and then we will make a link referencing our CSS, and then inside the body, just make a script tag. And inside this script tag, we are just going to make a function that waits for the DOM to load. Then it will pause. Right now, I have my loading screen set for 6 seconds, which is a bit long, so you can lower that. And then we are going to do a try catch and an invoke to our back end, which will close the splash window and show the main window. Now with all of that, we now have a working loading splash screen. It will show up, and right now it's just white, so we will use that CSS and edit our loading screen. Let's go back to our splashscreen.css, and I am just going to edit the body tag, and then I'm going to insert an image that is just going to be our loading screen. You can do whatever .png image you have that will be for your application. Mine is just a little my little channel's profile picture. And then once that's done, we now have a loading screen for our Tauri application, and everything's looking good and nice.